Hey everybody, Andrew here with Team Endurance and Team Imperium Outfitters. We're gonna rig a armored hex Wahoo bait. I run about a 36-inch leader on these. You don't need to run longer. If you run longer, you risk your bait being back behind the fish after they eat. Another fish will eat it, which is not good. Lures are expensive. I start by putting my heat shrink on the hook. Use copper sleeves. If you use aluminum, you got aluminum against stainless, which causes electrolysis and your connections won't last very long, or you'll lose a bait. Crimping stainless, you can pull it all the way down tight and crimp the whole hook. We're gonna make a stiff rig here with weights in it. It helps with a little more chafe guard. Everybody says, oh, it's stainless, they can't bite through it, and I've had Wahoo go through 480 before. So we've got our heat shrink already on there. I've got my pre-made stiff rig that I made out of egg weights. I drop them on a coat hanger and heat shrink over them. You can make them any size you want to set your hook back and add a little weight to your Wahoo bait or any other bullet or jet head you want to run. They really come in handy. So we're just going to take that and drop it down over the leader all the way down. Push the heat shrink up over the first weight. That way it's on the eye of your hook. Make sure it's nice and snug. A little torch lighter really comes in handy here. You can use a butane torch, you can use hot water if you don't have a torch, you can use a Bic lighter. Regular lighter just takes longer. So you're going to want to make sure that lays nice and straight. Let it cool off if you have time. If not, don't worry about it. You can always bend it straight later. Run your leader up through the center of the bait. I always try to keep my tag end short as possible here because cable is really hard on the ends, on the hands. I try to make it flush. And I do a really small loop. Now these have a stopper in them, but they're not a keel weighted bait, so hook orientation isn't real important. And there's your Wahoo bait rigged and ready to rock. The stopper on the armored baits is really nice, even though they're not keel weighted, because it keeps your chafing gear or hook or crimp from beating up the back of the aluminum head. But there's your simple Wahoo rig. It doesn't take anything fancy. You can use a hand crimper. I've got this big bench crupper, which is really nice. But that's my rig for Wahoo, and I run a 200-pound wind-on Wahoo fishing, so I don't have to worry about being able to leader a fish on a shorter leader. Thank you. Comment below if you have any questions.